And so the story began. On the third day, there was a wedding in Cana of Galilee. The wedding festivities were moving along in a predictable manner. But at this wedding long ago, a crisis unexpectedly, embarrassingly erupted. The wine ran out. In this culture, when the wine gives out, understand the wedding is over. Maybe for us too. Jesus' mama, being a resourceful woman, came to her son and said, "Son, they have no wine. The wine has run out. You have to do something. You can do something about this." Jesus looked at his mother and said, rather sternly, starkly, "Woman, this is not our concern. We are guests here. Chill. This is not our problem. This is the host's problem." Then he looked at his mother's face, and no doubt he saw disappointment there. She looked at her son's face and saw something change. She turns to the servants and says, "Do what he tells you to do." So Jesus tells the servants to draw out the water. Now the stone jars there are for the purification rites of the Jews. It was required of Jews, as you know, for one another, each of them really always to wash their hands in order to cleanse themselves ritually before they ate food with other people. So those stone jars were more or less the washroom coming into the reception. The bathroom moved into the middle of the room. Jesus now turns to the servants. Fill those 6 stone jars up with water. They are filled to the brim and could not hold any more. Then he says to them, "Now draw water from the well and serve it to the steward for the feast." As they go to the well to draw the water out, it is transformed. It is transformed into vintage, fruitful, deeply aromatic wine. They serve up a glass of this new wine and take it to the wine steward for a taste. His verdict? Wow. Marvelous. He then slinks over to the bridegroom, this glass of sparkling wine in his hand. You know, most people serve the good stuff first. But when everybody's feeling really good, they bring out the cheap bottles. But you, sir, you have served the best last. What a story. What if, in that story, the wedding is a metaphor? The wedding is a metaphor for life. And if this wedding is life, what this story is trying to communicate to us is that the wine always runs out. The wine always runs out. Wine could run out of a marriage or a career. Wine can run out of a business or a hobby. Wine can run out of a friendship. Wine can run out of a church commitment or some civic engagement. Wine can run out of our volunteerism. It can run out of our commitments in Greek life, fraternities, sororities we're part of. In our life as students, wine can run out in the process of finishing that degree or all the requirements of graduation. How many have said to me, When they come here the first time or the second time or the third time, they find this place called the Catholic Student Center. I love it here. I love it here. My faith has come alive. I've never felt what I've felt at Mass before as I am feeling it now. But after a while, it becomes like anything else, really. It sort of loses that luster. And even something like this that fired them all up when they first came, even for something like this, the wine runs out. Write it down. In life, the wine always runs out. In life, the wine always runs out. The joy we began with diminishes. Enthusiasms wane. Our once passion becomes passionless. What once worked so well, it's not working anymore. How does this happen? Well, for one, the wine runs out because of exhaustion. Exhaustion. The exhaustion of so much activity. We find ourselves busy with the routines of life, education, marriage, career, family, hobbies, friendships, only to discover to our shame that the wine has run out of most, if not all, of them. Other times the wine runs out because of neglect. We take all the goodies out of life and put nothing back in. We fail to pray, to worship, to give, to serve, to focus on getting to know another person, only to learn that the wedding feast of our life winds down, and that we have taken more than we have given, that we have used more than we've replenished, we've destroyed more than we ever created. Why? Why does this happen? Why does this seem to have to happen? Because the first wine is so easy, it's so plentiful, it's even cheap. It was a gift that we did nothing to deserve or earn. The first wine of life is the wine we drink of our intelligence, our charm, our good looks, our connections, the parents we were born to. The first wine comes so easily. If you have a good mind and some drive inside of you, that first wine can be so rewarding. It's cheap, but it's very rewarding. It doesn't cost a whole lot to any of us. That first wine doesn't. We must do life out of that young wine, and it does work well for a while. But soon, all too soon, the wine runs out. The chemicals firing in our brain over some new girl or some new guy loses its intensity. And soon, all too soon, the wine runs out. When that happens, what do we do? Back to the story. Back to the story to find out what we do. The first thing we need to do is look around. Look around the wedding that is your life. Look around at your life to see if Jesus is there, somewhere, anywhere in your life. He may have been there the whole time, but you ignored him. You maybe even avoided him. You didn't really have any need for him when things were all firing in perfect order and everything was working and that first wine was enough. Look around. Look around that feast that is your life. And you will see that Jesus was there the whole time. Truth be told, if we don't have the divine guest at the wedding that is our life, the divine guest who can turn water into wine, we have a problem. Look around. He probably was there the whole time and you didn't even know it. Then tell him. Tell him. When you find him there in the midst of your life, tell him. Tell him the wine has run out of your life. Admit to yourself first and then to him, Jesus, I have no wine. My life has lost its joy, its meaning, its vitality. That kind of self-awareness and self-honesty is the only door to transformation. Admitting it is the only door to transformation. Admit the wine is gone out of your marriage, your faith, your friendships, your career, your once eagerness and enthusiasm for your future. Confess. The wine is gone. And then, after you've looked around for him in your life, and after you admit it, that you need him, ask. Ask for help. Ask Mary to ask Jesus to help. Ask Jesus to help you transform what is still there in you, the water of your life, into wine once again. Go to the well. Go to the well of his infinite love and grace that has no shortage, that will never be in shortage for you. Draw out from that love. Draw out from that love that knows no limit. Draw it out for yourself. Let it in. Receive it. Drink of that new wine that is unlike any other wine. And finally, the best news of all. The best is yet to come. That's always true. The best is yet to come. Not only can God turn what is left of your marriage or of your career or of your friendship or of your faith into new wine again, God always saves the best wine for last. In the wedding that is life itself, there are no has-beens or used-to-bes. None of us has gone too far. Actually, when you think about it, we haven't gone far enough. We haven't gone to the well of God's grace, where water becomes wine. If you think the best days are behind you, think again. God's best wine is yet to be served. In life, the wine always runs out. Midlife crises can come at any time, even to 20-somethings in the middle of college. We are always mid-something. Hear the good news. Go to the well. Draw out that new wine, this best wine, this gift from the inexhaustible fountain of love, which is the mystery of God. Joy returns. And our own life becomes intoxicating.